Hello students, we're going to practice today a grammar activity related to sentence structure, okay? In the affirmative sentence structure, we have a subject, we have a verb, and we have a direct object, okay? It's a direct object because it's related to a thing, not to person, and is where, in this case, the action is going into, so it's receiving the direct object, okay? So I say, I eat apples. That is a direct object. You need help. We bought a car. Okay? In the negative form, in the negative sentence, the auxiliary with the negative article goes before the main or principal verb, as you see here. You have the subject, you have the auxiliary with the negative part, and you have the verb, a principal verb, and then you have the direct object. So we're still working with the same sentence structure. I don't eat apples. You don't need help. We didn't buy a car. Okay? In the interrogative sentence, in this case the yes/no questions here, the auxiliary goes at the beginning of the sentence. For example, the auxiliary, do or did, then the subject, the main verb, and the direct object with the question mark. Do I eat apples? Do you need help? Did we buy a car? Okay. Other complements are also called modifiers. Modifiers of place, of time, etc. Usually go at the end of the sentence. For examples, I eat apples at lunchtime. Okay? You need help in your job. We bought a car last Friday. Okay? These are the complements of place or time, and they go at the end of the sentence most of the time. Okay? Now normally the complement of place goes before the complement of time. I can have a complement of place and complement of time at the same time in the same sentence. But the complement of place has to go first and then the complement of time. For example, I eat apples at home at lunchtime. You need help in your job right now. We bought a car in Madrid last Friday. Okay? So I'm using these modifiers here in this sentence here. Now, when we use adverbs in the sentence, they usually go before the main verb in the simple form and also between the auxiliary and the main verb in a compound sentence. Okay? For example, I always eat apples at home. Okay, I'm using here before the main verb eat, I'm using the adverb always. I have always eaten apples at home. I'm using the adverb always between the auxiliary and, in this case, the verb, no, the past participle of the verb. And you never need help. In this case, I'm using never, the adverb never before the action need, the action word need. Okay? Not that it's a need is a non-action verb. I'm sorry. You have never needed help. The same problem here. I'm using never, the adverb before the auxiliary and after the auxiliary and before the verb of the sentence. Okay? Now the complement in a sentence. It completes the verb and it's usually a noun or a noun phrase. A noun phrase is composed of two or more words there. Okay? Every sentence does not require a complement. The complement answers the questions what or whom. Es el complemento del verbo y no es requerido tenerlo en toda oración. Es un complemento del verbo en este caso aquí. Vamos a ver algunos ejemplos. Okay. Modifiers. They tell us about time, place, or manner of the action. Hable del tiempo, lugar y manera de acción del verbo. For example, I have here subject, John and I And we have here the verb ate and studied. We have here the direct object that's referring to a thing, not a person. John and I ate a pizza. And the modifier, last week. We studied English last night. Okay, the same problem here again. We have the direct object, English, but we studied English, and when was it? Last night. Okay? These are a group of vocabulary that I recommend that you go over them. I will read it to you. House, door, window, wall, floor, ceiling, roof, chimney, balcony, hall, living room, foyer, dining room, bedroom, bathroom, study, staircase, garage, studio apartment, and kitchen. Now, I recommend that you make sentences with these words in the three forms: the affirmative, the negative, and the interrogative form. So it's a practice, a vocabulary practice here. Now we're going to go to the exercises of sentence structure. As you can see here, you have to organize, structure the sentence structure here. Okay? These are easier ones, not too complicated. You have 10 cases here. Okay? They are they're not in a correct form. You have to put them in organized form there. And the others, I also have more practice of exercises here. Maybe a little bit more complicated. Okay? Also is for you to practice how to write the sentence structure in the correct form. When to use the subject, when to use the verb, when to use the direct object, when to use the modifiers. Knowing all these things, you can do these exercises here, and you will develop to write your sentence structure in a correct form. Okay? So I recommend that you have a nice day. That's the end of the topic. As you can see, you have a lot of exercise to do, and I hope that you enjoy it.